Hey everyone, welcome to Vancouver Island Bushcraft. I'm just about to head out to a river. We're going to do a little bit of gold panning. I'm going to go with Trevor, and we're going to do an overnighter. And this is what I've brought so far. I got my normal pack, and on the pack I have a tarp, my sleeping bag, and my pad. I got a wool blanket and my wool sweater, my combat sweater. I'm bringing my jacket and my knife and a shotgun, and that's pretty much all I'm going to be bringing. The pack's a little overladen with a couple of things, but I wanted to be nice and warm and stuff, so not a big deal. I'm going to be having some pork steak and rice for supper, and we'll have some beer and we'll have a good time. So I'll see you guys en route. Gauge with me just in case anything goes on.
Howdy folks.
There's the birthday boy.
VIBC, Trevor Ensko. Or now VIBC Outdoorsman.
Very good. I like that better, for sure. So we're going to be doing a little bit of gold panning. So he's got the gold panning equipment going on here, and he's got his pack. And yeah, we're just getting prepared. This is Trevor's deal, so I'm just going to follow him, and we're going to go from there. All right, we're on the trail, guys. Doing our thing. Dog's having some fun. You having fun, Trevor?
Oh yeah.
That's quite a pack you got there.
Yeah, well, I didn't wear my pants, so they're in the bottom, and a bunch of other odds and ends that I haven't been able to.
All right, we're off on a small trail here, and I'll keep you guys updated. All right, so we just turned off. Here's the Nanaimo River. We're going to be heading this way. Some good sized trees. Give you an idea, these trees don't look big on the LCD, but if you just look at Trevor right beside one of these, this is one of the smaller ones, and it's literally his width of his body plus another half, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, that's all around here. Some pretty big stuff. We're going to follow the river a little bit, and I'll let you go when we're stopping. I don't know when we're stopping. It's all a surprise to me. Well, guys, it looks like this is pretty much the site we're going to choose. Got a sleeping area there. Looks like a good hammock area right here. We got nice access to the river. Should be pretty good. What are you thinking?
It's fine with me.
Yeah.
I got the wheelbarrow, so I need the stuff that we bring over, then we can just finish processing here.
Yeah, we can make this our home base for sure, and then go along there. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So we'll get you guys back when we've done a little bit of a setup. Look at it. So here we are, just a lean-to configuration. I opened up the end really well on that side and made it go a little bit further than normal. Normally it would end up here, but now there's not lots of room in here. No issues with that. Basically just tied to two trees, one here and one over there, and there's lots of rocks around here, so basically tied to rocks, and rocks on all the edges, so it's fairly well tied down. It's a little bit windy, so I made sure that everything was tied down with rocks, and you can see it's a really good, almost dome shaped bivouac, and I got it facing the river. I wanted to see the river when I'm sleeping, so a really roomy. This is one of the 12 by 10 tarps and completely spread out, so as you can see it's pretty darn roomy. So I'll show you the bed I have going on. Nothing crazy. I'm fortunate enough to have sand here. I just got the sleeping bag, the pad, and the wool mattress, and or the wool blanket, and that's just pretty much it. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. I'm going to be able to see that while I'm sleeping, and I'll be able to hear the river, so it should be pretty good. All right, guys, so my bivouac's done. I'm just going to show you Trevor's in a second here, and I'm going to show you now. We're right down by the river, which is kind of nice. There's crayfish all in here. I actually caught one that's about that long, which is pretty cool. And I got this Asian beer. It's called Asahi. Really good, but it's a really well compact thing to put in a backpack. It's 2 liters, which is about 6 beer or so, but doesn't take up very much room, which I thought was a really good idea. That's my little area here, and this is Trevor's area right here, and we're just keeping everything nice and cool. So I'm gonna pour myself some beer and I'll show you guys Trevor's hammock. That's a good idea. All right, we're heading up here. Trevor is in his hammock.
I was.
Get back in there. All right. So he's got the tarp set up between a couple of trees. He was adamant to not kill any trees.
Minimize
the footprint.
what I had to do for a footprint.
All right, so there he is. Nice and comfortable. Got the dog. And yeah, tarp's up there, all hooked in really good.
It's perfect.
And really comfortable.
Hey, look at this. Xavier, trial run. Sorry, bud. I have to put it to use. And
all right.
I got a little post here for my headlamp if I want to do
good
some
idea.
lighting.
Yeah.
And another thing is a double ridge line. So if I want to hang anything,
hang it ever you want,
I still keep anything up, especially if I were winter camping. I could keep the tarp up and keep some clothes drying.
Good to go.
Heat in underneath.
So there we go.
Little convection.
Our little bivouacs are done. Dog's having a good time with the stick.
Oh, I love the sticks.
All right. Hey guys.
Hey.
So I'm just sitting here. Dog's going crazy. So I'm just sitting here with Trevor having a beer, and Trevor goes, "Hey, there's a crayfish." And check this out, guys. This was I just grabbed this with my hand.
Hand picking right off the rocks.
Look at the size of that.
It's good. What? 4 inches?
Good 4 inches.
Yeah.
So are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? That crab trap? I'm coming back here with that crab trap, and we're gonna get a whole bunch of these guys. So I'm gonna put him back. We don't need him. We got all sorts of supper tonight, so put him back. There you go. He's good to go. He thinks he's hiding. He's a dumb crayfish, but that's okay. But how cool is that? If you guys are wondering how you get protein and fat here in Vancouver Island, this is the second one that I've got. Third one that I've seen, second one that I've actually captured just with my hand. So if a person was to spend an afternoon doing that, we're talking probably about, geez, I would say probably 20 of these crayfish, which would be a meal that you would be full as an adult male.
Under the regs, you're allowed 25 a day, and as a kid, I used to have them as pets in my aquarium.
So 25 a day, and as a survival thing, of course, regs don't matter, but easily acquired. I mean, literally, I just grabbed it with my hand. So just thought I'd show you guys that. Pretty cool. And actually, Trevor was saying that not far from here, he's seen them like 6-7 inches long. So I mean, that's like a small lobster, really. So I mean, no problem getting these things, like I said, hand grabbing them. So okay guys, we're heading to where we're going to do the gold panning. It's only about maybe 50 feet away from where we're camping. Okay, we got the whole wheelbarrow stuff. Maybe take a second, Trevor, and just explain to the subscribers exactly what the hell's in here.
Well,
I'm confused too.
Okay. Considering the purpose of our trip and the
drinking beer and
variables,
right? Yeah.
I'll put it. I factored everything in.
Okay, so what is all this stuff?
Okay, I've got my classifiers. I think that's the 1/4 inch.
Okay, let's dummy it down here. Let's explain exactly what stuff is without any terms. I think is probably best.
Well, in gold panning, you want to classify everything down to the smallest increment.
Okay, so bigger rocks to smaller to smaller to smaller. Okay, I get you. Yeah.
Just,
and those screens that facilitate, I can see that. Bigger screen, smaller screen. Okay, I see that. Yeah.
And then you get down into the gold pans. There's variances of preference.
Yeah.
With persons liking different types of design.
Okay, yeah. So you got a couple of different designs here.
Different designs. That one funnels.
Right. That seems like a neat idea.
Big ribs, smaller ribs for finer stuff.
Right.
Fortunately, this one's being
that's
repaired.
That's
but
fine.
I love this. The other thing is, when you get brand new plastic pans, scratch them up with sandpaper.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Because all the sand, I scratch them up lengthwise like this. So as you're back panning, if you watch one of my previous videos that I've produced on my own channel, the gold will get trapped in these little ridges.
Oh, interesting.
They're
So
like,
the more ridges, the more gold
like
gets trapped.
little teeth.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite ones because it's got the big ones here to consolidate things out this way as you're backwashing.
Right.
And then you can work it down this way.
Interesting. Okay.
And again, this was an old-time miner that I've picked up this pan. He had a little rocker box that I picked up at garage sale, and this came with it too. So this is a flatter surface, and you scuff up this to really get the fine, as we call it, fly poop gold.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Because all the little teeth will catch the fly poop.
Nice. Okay. All right. So what else do we got here?
I like this because you'll gather up the materials in
Like
the box.
the gravel, all that kind of stuff. By materials, you mean like the gravel and stuff? And
Yep,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
off the side hill.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. And then you can transfer it over. So as soon as it hits the dustpan, it's captured. My system is basically a 100% capture system.
Okay. If it's there, you got it.
If it's there, you got it.
Okay.
As long as you're using the proper technique.
Right. Which we're going to see pretty soon. Okay. So what else we got here? This is just to get a whole bunch of product, right? The 5 gallon pail.
I want to process as much dirt as possible. Last year we were pulling out 0.7 grams a 5 gallon pail.
How much do you make for 0.7 grams? Like, what's that worth?
Calculate it out to today's
But just
prices.
an estimate. What do you think? 50 bucks?
Well, considering an ounce is running about $12.60,
Yeah.
I believe, and an ounce is worth 32 ounces. You do the math.
So what, like for a small amount like that, what do you figure? Like 100 bucks?
You do 50 pails like this in our present location,
And you'll get an ounce.
possibly.
Okay, so literally you do this all day, you're gonna make $1,600 fucking dollars. Oh, sorry, I did not swear. Sorry guys. You're gonna make $1,600 a day if you know what you're doing. Is that what you're telling me?
Potentially.
Okay. $1,600 a day if you know what you're doing. Holy crap.
How big is my fish?
No, but I'm just saying that's pretty amazing. If you know what you're doing.
There is potential there if you hit the right pocket. I just want to add a tip. I like these little handles. Much easier on your hands. If
Sure, of course, yeah.
I've carried many a pails out of the bush to process at home if I didn't have the time. Dollar store also carries these little bungees.
So you can put your shovel next
Love
to it.
'em.
Okay, so that's the sorry guys, I got the sun there. So that's the equipment we're going to use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shut you down, and then once we get everything set up, I'm going to show you how we get the gravel, and then from there I'm going to show you how we process it, and hopefully we find some gold. Okay, so what are you doing here?
I'm just prepping her, I don't know what you want to call it. Just her bin.
So you're taking water from the river and just chucking it in there.
And then as we're digging the material out,
Yeah.
we're going to classify it down in its first stage.
Okay.
And
So basically you're going to put that back and forth, and whatever stays on there, that's what you're not keeping.
right.
Gotcha.
So any of the bigger stuff
Stays in there, chuck it.
chuck it. We're not gonna get big nuggets the size of that.
Yeah, it's not the right area, obviously.
So with our
Okay.
other classifier.
So what do you got here? You got the wheelbarrow, and this is an old like shopping cart.
That's my surprise.
Okay, that's a stolen shopping cart base.
No, not
Isn't
stolen.
it? Isn't it?
Repurposed.
Repurposed. Okay. And then you just go back and forth with this, and then all the stuff that's on the bottom is what we're keeping.
Yeah, and we'll process in the second stage tonight.
Okay, got it.
So basically, I got my little
Okay, so what are we doing here?
prospector shovel. Got a little hole here. Watch out, Sammy. Come on,
Hey, Bobby.
look out. Clear.
All right. Okay, so you're grabbing product.
Hopefully this hole had replenished itself. We're on the later part of the apex of the bend of the river.
Okay,
So-
so what he's saying is that the river comes around like this, and this side of where it goes, all of the heavy minerals head this way.
It'll cyclonic effect this way with the water flow.
Gotcha, okay.
I'll post a little bit of more information later if possible.
Okay, so you're gonna grab a couple of shovelfuls here, and let's see what you do with that.
So once it's in the dustpan,
Yeah,
it's captured.
all right.
If you're doing the whole process perfectly,
This is just for the subs to see exactly what's going on here. All right, so from there,
uneven. Because there's so many fines, which are they float in water retention or the surface tension. I'll just give the pan a quick wash.
okay, just in case, yeah.
Full capture, empty.
Yeah.
Gold's like 19 times heavier than anything else.
All right, so okay, now what do you do?
Wash it down.
Now all the small fine stuff's going into the grate, underneath that onto the wheelbarrow.
Correct. Maybe fully adaptable. You can totally submerge this.
Okay, so you've ended up with all this is garbage.
Garbage.
That's all gone. And now in here we have sediment
Unless
that.
you get something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That could
That's
include.
interesting, but let's chuck it.
Okay, so in here we have sediment that may or may not include gold. We're going to do that a million times.
There's another nice one.
And
Leave
once,
it right there, we call them.
Okay,
Leave it right there.
and once that's we got a whole bunch, then we process it from there. Okay, so we've done probably 10, maybe 15 of the I don't know, containers of rock. So this is where we're at right now.
Just as a note, check your date stamps. That'll figure out the time period that we've washed.
Yeah, which I don't think they care. So okay,
They
so this is the last one, and so what he's doing is he's just getting rid of all of the large rocks. Okay, so that's going to go into the stream. Okay, so now this water here is going to be dumped carefully, and the remaining silt from, what do you say, would you say about 10, 15 of those containers?
Yeah.
Something like that. So
We put in
a fair amount. So
15.
at least 15, yeah. So that water is going to come out, and then
15 dust bags.
15 of those guys, yeah. And then, okay, so go ahead and dump that out. I'm just going to GoPro you here.
I'm gonna skim off the.
We can just dip it, can we? Can we just like do this kind of thing? Just kind of do this.
My bear!
Ah! Alcohol abuse. It's important that we don't...
Muddy water.
It's important we don't lose any of the silt. Look, this is all the silt that's here. As you can see, it's...
Just rock it back and forth. Let that gold settle down to the bottom.
Because the gold is really heavy.
19 times heavier.
19 times heavier than any other rock. That's interesting. I didn't know that. All right, and we're going to get rid of the water here. And that's pretty much it. All this stuff here needs to be processed.
Oh, look at that glitter.
Are you seeing glitter? Seriously?
Seriously.
Cool. We're millionaires. Oh, maybe 50 bucks.
Fool's gold. Lots of fool's gold on this river.
Is there really? You know the difference, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. So that's pretty much that. What we're going to do is we're going to take all this silt and put it in the 5-gallon bucket, bring it back to our campsite, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Or he'll show you. I literally have no idea what we're doing. Okay, guys. So we're back at the campsite, and we're going to do the next stage. And Trevor's going to show you exactly what the next stage is. So we brought the wheelbarrow with the sediment to the campsite. We're basically in the river right now, and he's going to show you the next stage. So go ahead.
Okay, so I've got our gold pans here with our first stage materials that we've classified down, and preloaded our snuffer bottle to grab the gold. I'm going to load the gold pan. Should be plenty. Okay. So there's a full load. If you notice, it's a matter of miner's preference, but most gold pans have different configurations, I would say. I like this one, and in color black. There's also blue and different sizes. So as we go down, you're just classifying things down.
Okay, so let's see how you do it.
Okay. What's my balance? All the heavies will go down to the bottom. Keep on stirring it up. There's a lot of sediment in here. You want to get that heavy gold down to the very bottom of the pan.
And you said it was what, 19 times heavier than normal rocks?
Normal elements, yeah.
Normal elements, okay. That's really freaking heavy, so they're definitely going to the bottom.
Give it a little tilt. So as you're shaking, getting all that sediment, dirty dirt, you'll wash off the top rocks. Shake it again. It's basically about a 3-and-3 ratio. You can practice even at home. I've learned that you put a little bit of lead shot down in the bottom. Even if you don't have gold, put a little bit of lead shot and you'd be able to capture exactly what you put into the gravel.
So it shows you how to do it properly.
That would teach you the proper technique. You just keep on classifying down. The ribs in the pan will capture different amounts of gravels. So as you're going down, use the bigger ribs down to the smaller ribs. Some of my... Hey, Sammy.
Hey, baby. The dog's helping.
Photobomb.
It's a dog gold prospector.
I'm going to put that on our other Facebook page. Prospecting dogs. But as you wash the sediment off, all the heavies go down to the bottom. And if you do this technique right, on the river that we're on, Nanaimo River, you'll get into the black sands.
Oh, hey, you were talking about in World War II, they had a prospector school, just a couple of 100 yards down. Like, would you like to tell the subscribers about that?
At the end of World War II,
just keep doing that while you're doing it, for sure.
At the end of World War II, there was the government tried to put all the veterans back to work, and they thought, okay, we'll get them taught in prospecting.
And that was just about, what, a couple 100 yards down this river, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a placer school a few 100 yards down the river that taught this, and the name baffles me right now, but
yeah, it doesn't matter.
He's trying to put this into a non-for-profit organization, which is great. And I've met with a man firsthand. As you're going through this, just inspect the rocks, like
in case there's a nugget.
In case
you never know, right? And you said you were here one time, and what was the biggest nugget you got?
Well, if you take a dime,
take a Canadian dime.
A Canadian dime. The letter of the A. Oh, okay. Almost lost it. That's the thing. Really shake it up.
So the letter A, that's basically the size of the nugget you got.
But times that by the depth of the dime by 3.
Wow, that's a good sized nugget. And the thing is, guys, I mean, gold is so expensive. Like a small nugget, you may think that's nothing, but you do this for a couple of days, you're making yourself $1,000. If you know what you're doing, you're going to make yourself a lot of money. And I've never seen this process before. This is as new to me as it is to most of you guys, and that's why I'm not editing this. I'm showing you guys the entire process without editing, so you guys can see what this is all about. Because this if anybody's ever interested, you go to any river and you do this, you're going to get some gold probably. So let's pay attention.
And to think back in the day, you know, this spot a year ago was pulling 0.7 grams per 5-gallon pail. I can state that.
That's a lot of gold. A person could literally make a living on that. If you were doing this every day, you could make a living.
And this pan right now is only the first pan out of our...
We got a lot. We got that entire wheelbarrow is full of dirt. So, but we're just showing you the process, and I'm not editing this. I know this is a little long, guys, but I want you guys to see the entire process of...
It's not like high banking or with... it's not like with a... this is down to roots gold panning. The basic of basics.
So you're just constantly getting more and more.
Just keep on washing. Heavies go down to the bottom.
The heavies you mean by gold? Heavies is gold. Gold is going down to the bottom because it's 19 times, 18 times heavier than everything else. So as he's doing that, it's going to the bottom of this pile.
We're almost hitting the black sands, guys. I can see the black sands coming up.
I'm sorry this is so long, guys, but I want you guys to see this procedure, because if you're interested in doing this, people don't show you this. Nobody shows you how to do this. There's always there's the beginning part, the end part. Nobody shows you how to do this. This is gold. If you guys want to learn how to do this, this is the way to do it.
It's like fishing. Patience.
It's all about patience. There's a dog. This dog just loves this river. She's been fetching sticks. She's been in the water. She's been just a total, or he. Sorry, I keep saying she because all my pets are she's. He keeps enjoying herself. Look at that. Right in there. He's just having a great time. Okay, so how are we doing?
We're doing good. We're getting down to the bottom. Thing is, you do one pan, and then you can transfer it down. Like you can see the grains leaving the end of the pan.
Absolutely, yeah.
And these bigger ribs will catch the gold down in the bottom.
All right.
Just keep on washing it down. And as I'm doing that, I'm adjusting my level.
Yeah.
And you're watching the water tension. Water tension is important because when you get down to the finishing, I can see gold right there.
Whereabouts?
Okay. Okay. So that's my first wash. I'll wash it down. Now I'm going to start back washing. The back panning, I should say.
So you've seen gold, so now you're changing your process?
Exactly. So instead of putting the heavy or the lights right directly into the river, I'm going to wash it down. And this is a second capture system. If you miss something up here, we'll catch it down here.
Nice.
And the other thing is, with your pans, especially if they're new, scuff them up with sandpaper.
You were saying, yeah, so it actually captures the gold.
They get a good bite. Because, okay, there's
the gold right there.
Well, I see one right there floating around. It could be fool's gold. But the thing is...
Actually, that's pretty shiny.
The thing is, with the waterways and all that, I do not want to introduce soaps to the waterways. So I'm trying to diminish that.
So you're seeing gold here.
I am.
I saw a shiny one too. So guys, this is the process. That's all there is to it. And he's just constantly doing that until the last thing that's there, the heaviest thing, is the piece of gold, picks it out, and he's got gold. I've never seen this on YouTube from beginning to end like this. Hopefully anybody who's interested in doing this has learned how to do this. I think it's amazing. Thank you so much, Trevor, for showing us how to do this. This is like incredible. I've never seen this before, and I actually live on Vancouver Island where there's gold everywhere. And I'm gonna probably do this from now on. This is amazing. So thanks, Trevor. Okay guys, I was gonna let you go with just the process, but he's got some major gold here. So
our first color.
no, this is cool. Okay, I'm gonna go right in. Right there, guys. That's gold. Right there. First pan.
First pan.
Bam.
And we're not even at the bottom of the...
And that's where it would be, at the bottom, right? Because yeah. Like right there, guys. Right there, that's gold.
And we're not even through that or that.
And that's how you do it. About to have some supper, and because the fire ban is on, we have to be really careful. So we're having the charcoal briquettes, and what are you doing? You got steak and some what?
Ribeye steak.
And some spices.
I got some spices, my little spice container.
Nice.
And my prawns coming up.
Sweet. And I have pork steak. I'm gonna have some mashed potatoes, and we're gonna put them on the charcoal briquettes, and we're good to go. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. We got, actually, after I let you guys go, we got 2 more grains of gold, which is pretty awesome. I don't know what that's worth, maybe a whole $8 or something. I don't know, but still pretty cool, right? It's like it's a cool thing to do. So we'll let you go, and I'll let you see what we're doing when we're finished. Okay, well, it's supper time, guys, and I'm just going to give you a rundown on what we're having. We got over there, we got asparagus with crazy amount of spices and garlic butter, prawns, steak, and mashed potatoes. Over here, same thing. I have pork steak, and you have what kind of steak?
I think it's ribeye.
Ribeye steak, and then and then the prawns and the asparagus. We got the mashed potatoes, and we're good to go. This is gourmet, guys. This is not suffering whatsoever. So we're gonna have this and enjoy it. Okay, guys, I'm not sure what the lighting's like right now, but it's getting pretty late, so we're gonna hit the hay, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Got everything all set up here, and we're gonna be pretty comfortable, I think. Well, guys, it's morning. Had a great sleep, nice and warm. One of the things that mosquito. One of the things that was great is I'm wearing wool. I have merino wool, long johns and stuff on. I have a combat sweater, of course, it's wool, and a wool blanket around me. So it got down to about 14, and I was nice and warm. No issues at all. And when I got up in the morning, as you guys know, last night, both my feet went into the water, and Bushcraft 101, bring an extra pair of socks. I didn't. So when I put the socks on this morning, I don't know, 5 or 6 seconds of, oh my God, that's cold. And because they're wool, got nice and warm and no issues. My feet aren't cold at all in the wool socks. So we're just at the lake, or the river here, and I'll show you what Trevor's doing, and while I'm having my coffee, and that's our morning so far. All right, I'm just gonna sit down. I got this Teton pad here, and it's really comfortable because of the rocks and stuff. All right, well, there's Trevor, and he's
Morning, folks.
he's just finishing up. It only took about maybe an hour to finish up this morning, and he's got the last little bit of basically the entire stuff that we did last night, and this is what he ended up with, is this here. And in there are the flakes of gold, and I've seen one personally, and he's going to take it home and really go through it so that he can get any pieces of gold, which is kind of cool. I'm having my coffee. It's a mocha. We can't have a campfire, so we're doing everything on the little stoves. I had coffee, and Trevor had his coffee as well.
Hey. Morning, Sammy.
Well, that's about it, guys. We're just gonna just get away from the video. Okay, that's about it, guys. We're going to break camp in probably an hour or so, and or maybe less, and head on back. It's been a great time. You know, being by the river and hearing that all night is very soothing. No issues with any animals at all. Nothing around. There's actually not even any birds around, which is interesting. This morning, as I'm sitting here with my coffee, the crayfish are taunting me. They're everywhere at my feet. I'm definitely coming back either this weekend or next weekend with a crab trap, but I'm going to make one that is crayfish size. So I'm going to go maybe 14 inches, something like that, and a smaller net, so I can put like a chicken wing on it or whatever, and we'll watch these guys walk onto the nets. It should be pretty interesting. So until then, I'm just going to put my coffee down. Until then, guys, thanks for joining me. It's been a great weekend, Trevor's birthday, and I'll see you next time on Vancouver Island Bushcraft. Say bye, Trev.
Adios.